Over the last several years, conservatives have been targeted at science fiction and comic conventions, being banned, harassed, and more by a lot of the convention organizers out there. It's been a terrible thing. They, of course, call us all sorts of names under the sun. I've actually been involved in one of these situations where I was forced to sue the World Science Fiction Convention because they libeled me as a racist bully. I won that. They had to pay me and issue an apology for doing such, which was a fantastic development in, of course, the culture war. Now, of course, they always say, well, start your own if you don't like it, and kind of laugh at us every single time, like they do with everything else with this kind of thing. And so Robert Crucy, a wonderful author who I highly recommend his books, started a convention called BasedCon in Michigan a couple years ago. It's a small gathering. He set it up so it's really intimate and it's really good so that people can actually build friendships and actually have a good community revolving around our shared hobby rather than focusing on identity politics like a lot of these conventions have become. They've become glorified sex shows a lot of the time with crazy. I'm dead serious. These science fiction conventions have full-on drag shows and things like that. It's creepy on every level. Can't bring your families there at all. So BasedCon happened. It's been a huge success by any measure. Everybody who has ever talked about it says it's amazing. And now it's getting enough success that PC Gamer magazine is attacking the co-creator of Doom, the video game, for attending it last year. Let's get into the news in just a moment. If you're new to the channel, my name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author, an award-winning comic creator, and this is my Flying Sparks Ultralight Beams, my latest graphic novel. If you want non-woke content, a replacement for Marvel and DC, this is where the Culture War ground zero is right now. It's on my backer kit. We have over 300 backers, and I appreciate you guys for supporting this book so hard. Go check it out. It's on my backer kit link in the description below. I've also got my Amazon link and my Subscribe Star down there if you want to support in other ways. Thank you so much for helping in our efforts. The books is where it's at. It's where we're going to make the real change in culture, and I appreciate you guys for being there. Cool. This is John Carmack headlining a toxic and proud sci-fi convention that rails against woke propaganda. It's pretty great that we need something that rails against woke propaganda. We need more conventions like this. Michigan is kind of far for me. I'd like one on the West Coast if anybody wants to run one. But Robert Crucy, in all seriousness, has done a great job. I have many friends who have gone to this convention, and I've heard of great authors like Dan Humphreys, Nick Cole, who have attended this as well. Really good stuff, and Crucy's doing an amazing job up there by all measures. So here is PC Gamer throwing a fit that this exists. This is what they do. They want you to start your own, but then they want it to be shut down. They want everybody to disavow it. They want to try to destroy it. This is every time the SJW playbook. It's called Isolate, like remove us from their conventions, and then Swarm. And then they attack us until whatever alternative we create dies. That's their intention. The only way we can stop this is just to stand tall. Don't be scared of these people. Remember that like things like PC Gamer magazine have no influence on the culture at large anymore. I mean, they really have just botched their entire media because nobody trusts them anymore. And this is the reason why. They are pure hatred of just good old-fashioned American values and good old-fashioned American culture. So this is it. He's posted a defense of his decision. He says John Carmack says it's unfortunate Rob Crucy has made BasedCon intentionally provocative. There's no choice, and this is what I said on Twitter: is that look, our existence is intentionally provocative, according to them. So there's nothing there that's actually provocative about this stuff. Anybody's welcome to hang out. We're just not playing into the social justice crap, and not actively talking about that and not actively pushing that is, quote, provocative, according to these people, because these people are insane. Everything has to be about identity politics to them. So it's sad, actually, that he buys into the narrative that it's intentionally provocative is what it is at the end of the day. I told him as much after the event last year. I felt a little uncomfortable. Yeah, and that you're uncomfortable because you know you're going to get targeted like this. PC Gamer is going to target you just for talking to us. And this is why a lot of people are scared. And honestly, this is what I gotta say. I know a lot of authors watch me who are center or left or whatever. Don't be scared of talking to us. Don't let these people bully you. They're cry bullies at the end of the day. And these are the weakest people out there. They will back down at the even semblance of any social pressure against them. There's a demographic that welcomes the in-your-face posturing, drives away sympathetic people would be otherwise happy to talk about the craft. stories, and technology. Even when someone gives you a clear signal, it is a mistake to extrapolate it to an entire constellation of beliefs and behaviors and to assume they are contagious by association. That shortchanges for a lot of people. So he's saying, hey, don't do guilt by association, but he just also validated their guilt by association by calling it provocative on this front. It's really silly at that point. Just don't apologize. Don't explain yourself. These people are not ever acting in good faith is what it comes down to. Now, I appreciate John Carmack for not backing down and not just not attending. He goes on to say he has fun there and he likes everybody involved. Now, that's necessary, but explaining yourself only leads to this crap and people like PC Gamer taking you out of context and trying to tie you and actually associate you in another way to whatever beliefs they feel like ascribing to you that day. This is what their playbook is every time, and explanations just assist them. This is why you don't bother with these people. You don't take them at their word. He says, I'm not a culture warrior. I don't want to strike blows against anyone. I don't follow activists on either side, including Rob, because I tend to think that all the negativity and resentment is detrimental to both the author and the target. Unfortunately, what happens is when you say stuff like this, the social justice side goes, well, if you're not with us, you're against us. And they're going to hate you anyway. This is why PC Gamer's writing an article targeting him anyway, while people on our side are not going to do that. And unfortunately, he feels safe saying stuff like this because people on our side won't do that, and their people on their side will do that. It's a vicious cycle. This has to stop, and the only way to stop it is to call out the woke like Rob Crucy is doing. Rob Crucy is doing 100% the right thing here. He's making his convention anti-woke and not just something, we're just kind of ignoring it. Is the only way to make sure the woke doesn't infiltrate and destroy everything. It's 100% true. So he says, I'm going to BasedCon again this year. I had read books from and Twitter interacted with 3 of the authors and more since, but I wasn't sure what to expect last year. It turned out fun in a grassroots con kind of way that reminded me of the old Space Access days. And that's it. These conventions used to be fun. And I've told people this. I've written to local conventions and said, guys, knock it off with the identity politics panels, all these whining about minorities in fiction, LGBTQ in fiction, LGBTQ oppressed at conventions. They do all these panels and stuff like that. Nobody wants to go to them. If you watch and you go to the panels at the conventions, you'll see like 5 or 6 people in the audience. Nobody cares and nobody wants to just sit there in a negative space. It used to be about fandom. We used to be like, hey, let's talk about Star Trek or let's talk about Marvel or talk about our new books and things like that. No more. These conventions have ruined themselves, and this is why BasedCon exists. He's talking about it right here. I was just going to show up as a normal attendee, fan authors of last year, but Rob nudged me into doing some talk and some panels. I enjoyed it. That's cool. Attending a convention is pretty unremarkable. Oh, yes. But BasedCon isn't like most. Its website claims the convention isn't about pushing a particular ideology, while at the same time listing examples of base beliefs. Listen to this. Listen to what triggers PC Gamer. Men cannot give birth. PC Gamer, that's science. It's settled science, my friend. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Correct. Guns cannot fire themselves, so somebody has to do it. It's science. A fetus is a human being. Yes, it is. Thank you. Socialism has failed everywhere it's been tried. Also true. And discriminating against white people is racism. Do you read this? He's upset, saying you should be able to discriminate against a certain race, and that's allegedly not racism. These people are insane. This is all standard stuff that should not be controversial in the least. When website complains that while sci-fi cons used to be a lot of fun, true, in recent years they've been dominated by a small clique of authoritarian jerks who made them into venues pushing social justice dogma. 100% true. And turned spark controversies like the sad puppy, an effort to push. By the way, look at this. Push right-wing authors to the top of the Hugo voting. I'd say more than half of the authors that the sad puppies put in there were actually left-wing people. They just had books that were kind of for everybody. They weren't social agenda books. So again, this is a rewriting of history. The misogynistic harassment campaign, Gamergate, here it is, got Gina Carano fired from The Mandalorian. And here it is, yep. And drove the push to get critical race theory and other social justice garbage into schools. There you go. All true. Except for the way they framed Gamergate and sad puppies. It also warns that if you happen to not embrace those beliefs, you should probably stay away. If you think people with certain skin color can't be racist, or you expect that people use made-up pronouns when talking to you, you may want a reality check before coming to BasedCon. Pretty cool. pretty based, actually. I'm very happy about this. This is happening again in September 10th, 8th to 10th, right before my birthday here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is Cursova Magazine. They are a beautiful science fiction magazine who does non-woke content. You should look them up on Amazon. It's definitely worth something of your time there. And check it out. This is wonderful stuff right here. And John Carmack is doing the right thing by attending and hanging out and just enjoying himself, not letting everybody tell him who to associate with. And I hope more people follow suit because I'm so sick of it. I know there's a lot of people, again, who watch the channel. I'm going to call on you industry professionals who are like afraid to associate with me in public. We have, I've wanted you to have you guys on my live streams just to chat about books and not deal with any of this social justice garbage out there. And I know that like you're going to get harassed if you do so, but I call on you to stop and to associate with whoever you want, not worry about these people, because at the end of the day, none of these woke activists have any money. I mean, they're all broke commies, let's be honest. And that is the truth at the end of the day too. So check out BaseCon, a lot of fun. Congratulations, Rob Crucy, on getting PC Gamer to attack you. And I hope that the Doom co-creator doesn't get much harassment from this because it is really sad that they try to do this every time. Here's Flying Sparks, my book again. Please check it out in the link in the description below. Hit the like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below with what you think. We need more of these conventions. Maybe you could be the one to organize them.